It's now official. FIFA has decided that the 2026 World Cup will no longer be held in the United States. The organization made the decision to remove the U.S. as host, and the responsibility falls directly on President Trump. FIFA is now facing a major logistical problem after thousands of players, coaches, and fans declared they would not travel to the country. This is due to Trump's strict immigration policies, which have caused fear, tension, and a negative reaction worldwide. Athletes and delegation members are afraid of being detained or deported, even with valid visas. Fans from around the world now see the U.S. as an unsafe place for an event as large as the World Cup. The situation is so serious that several countries have already announced they will boycott the tournament if it remains in the U.S., a direct hit to football's spirit of unity. That's why FIFA is officially moving the tournament to Mexico and Canada, which offers safer and more welcoming conditions for players and fans. The United States, once the main host, has now lost the world's biggest sporting event, all because of a political crisis sparked by Trump's policies, which go far beyond football. The American dream has turned into a diplomatic disaster. Leave your comment and share this urgent news.
Trump administration has banned citizens from 12 countries from traveling and entering into the United States.
The 2026 World Cup only a year out, there's a big question of whether the fans will make it to the stadiums or be forced to watch from home.
Oh, this is a unique trophy. This is the trophy. America will welcome the world. There will be millions of people coming, Mr. President, millions of people. The economic impact is 40 billion US dollars.
Imagine the world's biggest sporting event, a stage where billions of viewers and millions of fans unite, suddenly thrown into uncertainty. A tournament designed to celebrate inclusivity, global passion, and shared culture now finds itself caught in the crosscurrents of politics and policy. What if the matches everyone has dreamed of attending are suddenly shifted across borders? Or worse, canceled altogether? It sounds unthinkable. Yet behind the curtain, conversations have already begun. We will reveal later in this story just how close these plans are to being activated, but the warning signs are impossible to ignore. In less than 2 years, the 2026 FIFA World Cup is set to unfold across North America. For the first time in history, the event was awarded jointly to 3 nations: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The idea was bold and historic, reflecting both the scale of the tournament and the promise of cross-border cooperation. But instead of preparing for a smooth celebration, FIFA insiders and global sponsors are now mapping out contingency scenarios. The reason is not stadium readiness or fan enthusiasm, but trade barriers, visa restrictions, and corporate uncertainty that threaten the ability of the United States to fulfill its hosting commitments. Before we continue, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. Signs of shifting confidence are already visible. Emirates Airlines, once committed to a multi-million-dollar advertising package tied to U.S. venues, has quietly redirected $15 million toward Canadian events instead. Industry observers see this as more than a symbolic gesture. It is a signal of declining corporate trust. Sponsors are sensitive to instability, and the very fact that major players are reallocating budgets illustrates that contingency planning has moved beyond theory. What should have been a straightforward logistical triumph is beginning to look like a test of political willpower and international credibility. The stakes go far beyond logos and billboards. Hosting the World Cup is not simply about showcasing athletes. It is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for soft power, tourism, and global perception. For the United States, the tournament was supposed to project stability and openness. Instead, it risks becoming a case study in self-sabotage. Visa barriers, new tariffs, and prolonged bureaucratic delays are casting shadows over the very inclusivity the World Cup embodies. If these issues are not resolved, matches could be reassigned with as little as 90 days' notice, reshaping the event in ways that few fans expect today but may soon become unavoidable reality. Consider the fan experience, the heartbeat of every tournament. Under current conditions, thousands of supporters face hurdles just to step foot inside a U.S. stadium. A sweeping travel ban affecting 12 countries has already disqualified tens of thousands of potential ticket buyers, including entire fan bases of teams that have already secured their qualification. For those still eligible to attend, the financial burden has grown. A visa integrity fee of $250 now applies to most travelers without exemptions.
26 World Cup, once set to be jointly hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, will now take place only in Canada and Mexico. The decision comes amid rising tariffs and visa restrictions imposed by the U.S. sending shockwaves through the world of sports and politics alike.
The world is welcome in America. Those who want to come to create trouble, like in every country in the world, well, they are not welcome.
Dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them.
We want them to come, we want them to celebrate, we want them to watch the game, but when the time is up, they'll have to go home, otherwise they'll have to talk to Secretary No.
Many of you voted and the message was clear. You want to know if Canada and Mexico are about to overtake the U.S. as the go-to hosts for the next World Cup. With new visa fees piling up and political tension getting worse, the landscape is shifting fast. Here's a number that stands out. Visa applications from key markets have already dropped 22%. That's not a small dip. It's a warning sign for anyone betting on packed stadiums. FIFA is watching these changes closely. Could this be the moment when games start moving north of the border? Which nation will seize this moment? The visa situation is creating a crisis for international fans. The heart of the problem is a $250 visa integrity fee added to non-immigrant visas, part of Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. This isn't just another U.S. policy tweak. It's a direct obstacle for World Cup fans. Tourists, students, and short-term workers all get hit with this extra charge on top of already high visa fees. The timing is bad, with the 2026 tournament on the horizon. For fans from places like Mexico, India, Brazil, and China, that's an additional $1,000 for a family of 4 before they can even think about attending a match. The backlash is growing. U.S. consulates report wait times for visa appointments now stretch over 300 days in some key markets. That's not a small inconvenience. FIFA's own numbers show that over 60% of World Cup ticket buyers come from outside the host nations. If those fans can't get in, stadiums risk empty seats, and sponsors are not going to accept that. Industry analysts warn that U.S. losses could easily eclipse hundreds of millions in tourism dollars if this policy stays in place. Social media is filled with angry fans posting videos and launching TikTok campaigns calling for a boycott of U.S. matches. The noise is loud enough that it's getting noticed by both FIFA and the media. FIFA has policies on the books for this kind of scenario. Their human rights policy explicitly calls for unrestricted fan access. Human Rights Watch even sent a letter to FIFA, citing these new visa rules as a violation of the spirit of sport. Internal sources say FIFA is watching the situation closely and has started tracking visa denials every week. One travel lobbyist working with FIFA said, "If the numbers keep climbing, they'll have to act." The U.S. made promises about smooth fan entry when it was awarded hosting rights, but those promises are now under serious doubt. Legal documents show that FIFA can move matches if a host nation creates undue barriers for fans. That rule was meant for emergencies, not for self-inflicted policy problems. But the reality is clear. Canada and Mexico already meet FIFA's requirements with far simpler visa processes. Their stadiums are either finished or on track. The U.S. is putting its reputation as a host on the line, and FIFA is under mounting pressure to respond. This is where the focus turns to FIFA's own rules and the possibility of matches shifting. The next step is to look at what those rules really mean and how ready Canada and Mexico are to step in if needed. FIFA is facing mounting pressure as the U.S. visa crisis threatens the core of their hosting requirements. The organization's human rights charter is clear. Host countries must provide non-discriminatory entry procedures for international fans. Right now, the U.S. is at risk of violating that clause. Multiple FIFA officials have voiced concerns behind the scenes about entire supporter groups being shut out. One official with knowledge of venue planning put it simply, "We can't have a World Cup where fans can't get in because of government policy. The contracts are written for this." Contingency plans aren't just theoretical. Mexico's Estadio Azteca has wrapped up major renovations and meets every FIFA standard. Toronto's BMO Field is finishing its 18,000-seat temporary expansion, and Vancouver's BC Place has upgraded for international matches. These venues are in active use. Mexican and Canadian organizers keep sending FIFA progress updates, unprompted. They see the opening. If matches need to be relocated, the process is already covered by the 2026 host agreement. There's a clause for government-imposed access barriers, which legal experts say applies to visa restrictions just as much as natural disasters. The U.S. made a commitment to smooth fan entry when it won hosting rights. Now, State Department data shows visa appointment wait times stretching over 300 days in countries like Nigeria and India. FIFA has shown it's willing to act when fan access is at risk. In 2021, they moved the Club World Cup from China to Qatar because of COVID-related entry restrictions, citing the same principles. Right now, internal discussions are focused on shifting group stage matches north if entry barriers aren't resolved. The infrastructure is ready. Games scheduled for Dallas or Miami could be moved to Monterrey or Vancouver with minimal disruption. Air routes are in place. Canada's electronic travel authorization covers dozens of countries, and Mexico offers visa-free entry or streamlined processing for many fans who would otherwise face U.S. delays. Sponsors are watching. Adidas and Qatar Airways built their deals around global audiences. Empty seats in U.S. stadiums would trigger penalties. Ticket data shows Mexico hosting the most in-demand matches so far, including the opener. The message is clear. Demand is shifting, and so is FIFA's attention. FIFA's competition director put it bluntly. We'll ensure all qualified fans can attend, wherever that takes us.
This sudden change is more than just a sports headline. It's a reflection of growing tension between global cooperation and national policies. FIFA president stated that visa barriers and trade tariffs could have created unfair challenges for fans, teams, and officials planning to travel to the U.S. for the tournament. The United States was set to host the majority of matches, including the grand final. Billions of dollars had already been invested in infrastructure, stadium upgrades, and tourism preparation. Now, those plans hang in uncertainty, leaving many wondering how such a major shift will affect the reputation of American sports diplomacy. Canada and Mexico are now stepping up to fill the gap, promising to deliver an unforgettable World Cup experience. Both nations are expanding their stadium capacities, improving transportation networks, and pledging open accessibility for international visitors. Analysts predict this decision could reshape how FIFA chooses future hosts, prioritizing global access over economic power. It's also a powerful reminder that sports and politics are more intertwined than ever. For millions of soccer fans across the world, this World Cup will not only be remembered for who wins on the pitch, but for the statement made off it. So, what do you think? Did FIFA make the right move removing the US as a host? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates and global stories. I'd love to hear from you. Do politics have too much power in sports today?